Glastine, you won't never believe what just happened. I just got my promotion. I'm the new boss. Could you believe it? Hey, what's up everybody? This is your leadership coach Glastine with another message that could take your leadership to the next level. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 7 more mindset shifts that you, as the new manager, need to be aware of. I'll see you in a sec. I just want to give a quick shout out to all my subscribers. I just want to say thank you for your support. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. You guys know how the YouTube algorithm works. And for you guys that are new to this channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And don't forget that notification bell because I drop a video like this every week and I don't want you to miss it. Hey, let's get in. There are 7 mindset shifts that as a new manager, you must adopt. Number 1, I call this the marathon versus sprint philosophy. When you go in as the new manager or the new supervisor, you're the new leader. And that's all fine and dandy. But understand this, you cannot go in making hasty changes right off the bat. It doesn't work like that. People have to get to know you. And more importantly, you have to get to know your environment. How does this environment works? What makes this team function? How does my managers expect me to lead this team? What are their expectations of me? What are the expectations of the team of me? And for that, you gotta go in slow. You gotta be smooth about this. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So when you go in with the mindset, I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to build relationships. I'm here to get to know strengths and weaknesses so I can put people on the right bus and cater more to their strengths than their weaknesses so they can have success. I'm here to develop leaders. That's the kind of mindset that when you go in as a first-time supervisor, manager, that you should have. Number 2, get to know your boss. Let me repeat that. Get to know your boss. This is one of the most critical mindset shifts that you have to embody. You have to get to a point where you understand your boss's expectations just like you understand your team's expectations of you. And the way you do that is by building a relationship with your boss. Having those meetings, going into that office. But here's the thing. When you go into that office, you don't just go in without an agenda and you're like, hey, I want to have a conversation with you. No, you set up a meeting, you have an agenda, you got your bullet points, you want to hit those points, those talking points. You want to value your leadership's time. And you want to have an agenda. I've seen many walk in to the boss's office without an agenda and they kind of go ahead and waste time and they ramble. And that makes your boss kind of hesitant to schedule another meeting with you. So you always want to go in prepared. You always want to go in with looking for their expectations of you, their expectations for the team, the vision for the team. Where do they see this team going in the future? What do they expect from the team? What do they expect from you? You understand? You really have to get clear on that. And you have to also know your boss's personality. There are decisions that you can make on your own, and there are decisions that you have to include your boss on. You have to understand when to include her and when you can make those decisions on your own. And The way I like to do it is that I like to send her like important emails if I'm dealing with a client and something comes up where I think she needs to know. I CC her on those emails. But if something happens within the team, there's an issue that I can easily fix, I'm not gonna bother her with small things. See, because I've gotten to know her that way, so I know I kind of could gauge. And this thing takes time. It's not something that you're gonna learn tomorrow. It takes time. You gotta really be intentional about watching your boss, watching her personality, and seeing the type of person she is. I know it seems like a lot, but you have to do it if you want to be successful. Number 3, you want to be what is called a centered leader. You want to be stable in all your ways. You want to be confident. You want to be trustworthy in everything that you do. You want, when people look at you, especially your team, you want them to know that this person has my back. This person is trustworthy. This person is confident. No matter what's going on, no matter what storms may come, you are calm in the midst of that storm. You are centered. You are grounded. No matter what happens, they don't see you yelling in meetings. They don't see you, having negative talk about the client. They don't see you flustered in any way. What they see is a calm captain, a calm leader of the ship. Always do not deviate from that. I'm telling you that if you deviate from that, your team, even though you have an open door policy, people are going to be hesitant to walk through that door. They must know you to be a person that don't wear their emotions on their sleeves. They must see you as stable. They must see you as calm. They must see you as that leader that no matter what happens, that you're in control of yourself. You know what that does? That helps everyone on the team be in control of themselves. They are totally in control because they know, man, my captain, she got this. Number 4, heart to heart. You are not going to be a good leader if you don't love people. You can forget about being great if you don't have no love for people. I've heard this saying in corporate, and it's true. People don't leave good organizations, they leave bad managers. And because you're listening to this, you want to be a good manager. So I got you. Listen, you have to have an intrinsic love for people. This is where self-awareness comes in. This is where you have to evaluate your values, your belief systems, who you are as a person, your personality. You have to evaluate everything about you because people are going to be looking to you for inspiration, for motivation, for support. People are going to look to you, especially as a new leader. That can be overwhelming if you have no love for people. You got me? You feeling me? You feeling me? You have to have love for people, man. There's no way around this. This is how you know you love people, right? This is how you know you're going to be a good leader. When people come to you with problems, you're a good listener. You like to just listen. And you genuinely want to hear what they have to say. Another indication that you love people is that you always seek to understand first before you're understood. You always want to be curious. If somebody does something that's kind of funny, that's kind of strange, that kind of ticks you off or whatever, you always want to just step back and say, kind of be curious about that. I wonder why they did that. I got to have a talk with so-and-so. and just to see what's going on in their lives or whatever. You care. As a leader, you just care. It's just something inside of you. I'm telling you, if you don't care about people, give up this whole manager and supervisor thing, because I don't want you managing my sons or my daughters that's coming up. I want them to have good leaders. You feel me? Number 5, call this follow through. As a leader, you must know the value of following through. Go ahead right now and comment below, follow through. Write those words down, follow through, because I want to get this. I want to get this in your heart. I want to get this inside of you so you can understand the importance of this. Follow through on what, Glasstein? Follow through on your word. When you say you're going to do something, you better do it. Especially if you make a public announcement on it. And you know what? I've heard this thing about confidence, and the way you develop confidence is telling the truth to yourself. When you tell yourself that you're going to do something, you do it, and you develop more confidence that way. It's the same thing when you're operating as a new leader, new supervisor, new manager. When you tell your team something, you better follow through. If you tell your boss, I'll have that to you by 9 a.m. in the morning, you better have that, whatever that is, to her by 8:45 a.m. If you tell your teammate that you will take care of something, and your teammate hands that off to you, especially as it's concerning a client, and they're depending on you to take care of something that might be an issue in the future, hey, you better take care of that. Once you give your word, that's it. Your word has to be money in the bank. It has to be like that. You can't deviate. You can't say, oh man, I totally forgot. And it's okay once in a blue, but as a new leader, nah, you don't want to have that. And one of the things that has helped me a lot, and I'm going to give you this secret, always have a pen and pad ready. So when things pop up, write that stuff down. Take some time out. Now you can just do it on your iPhone, right? Just get your iPhone and just type it in. Type in a reminder, right? That way you don't forget. That way it doesn't slip in your mind, because there's a lot of things going on, and you don't want those things to slip, especially anything that has to do with your word, because your word is how people are going to judge you. And if you make mistakes early on, people are going to judge you harshly. And I don't want that to happen to you. That's why I'm giving these tips. So have that pen and paper everywhere you go. Take notes in meetings, when you're talking to teammates, when you're speaking to clients. Have that pen and paper and write things down, because I don't want you to mess up. Number 6. I love this one. I call it the yellow bus. And I was inspired by the yellow bus principle or philosophy by Bill Collins, who wrote the book Good to Great. And he talks about putting the right people in the right seats in the bus. What does that mean, Glasstein? It means that when you have a team and you build a relationship with that team, you start understanding everyone's strengths and weaknesses. And depending on their strengths, that's how you divvy up the work. If so-and-so his strength is not in Excel spreadsheets, you're not going to give him a task that involves, heavy Excel work. You're going to understand that his strength may be in some other software. And so you make sure that you put him in that seat on the bus. You make sure that he works towards his strength. There's gonna be times, mind you, there's gonna be times where resources are limited, human resources are limited, and you have to put people in positions on task where they kind of feel uncomfortable. But that's where you're gonna have the continuous training thing going, because you are always there as a leader to develop leaders. And the way you're going to develop those leaders is by continually promoting personal development and business development. What skills do they need? What do you know about the company already, or your team, from having those discussions with your manager? What type of skills does your team need? And you have to really hone into that. So what you're beginning to see here, and I really want to get into this right now, what you're beginning to see here is that being a supervisor, being a manager for the first time, you really have to put a lot of thought into people. Because it's all about people. People make up the organization. People make up the bottom line. People make up the vision. Without people, there would be no vision. Without people, you can't cast no vision, because there won't be anyone there to help you get to that vision. So it's all about people. If you get that right as a leader, man, you go so far in life just understanding that one thing. So you want to be that type of manager that's really people, relationship focused, because that's how you get the right people in the right seats on the bus. It's because you know them. Number 7. Oh man, this one is crazy. The backstabbing leader. You do not want to fall into that category. Never, ever, ever talk about your predecessor. Never. And I mean, don't talk about them in those slick ways either. Oh, you might, this team wasn't such a good team. I heard about this team. I heard about y'all. I heard about what happened. You don't want to ever be that type of manager. One of the first things that you want people to notice about you is that you don't speak negative about anyone. I don't care where you're at in an organization, who you're friends with, who you deem worthy of your backstabbing or whatever. Don't talk about people. Don't talk negative about people. Do like my grandma says. If you don't have anything good to say about somebody, don't say anything at all. You got that? Don't say anything at all. Listen to my grandma. She was right. In my team, we don't talk about people. Gossiping? Oh no, that's not gonna happen on my team. Because remember I said, not to make any quick changes. Well, that's one of the things that I let people know when I'm on those one-on-one meetings with them, is that I do not tolerate that gossiping. I do not tolerate you coming to me, letting me know something negative about this person on a personal basis. Your personal stuff with this person, I had one instance where teammates were like, I don't like the way she dressed. She thinks she's this and she thinks she's that or whatever. I was like, and I was new, and took my little pen and pad out and jotted down everyone who had mentioned that to me. And when I was on the one-on-one, I explained to them that I never wanted to hear anything like that again. Or there'll be, harsh consequences to pay. I cut that gossip stuff out. You have to cut that stuff out. You probably will never really get rid of it, but you can mitigate it. You can minimize that stuff. Don't tolerate gossip, and don't be the one that's gossiping. Always, if you're gonna say something about your predecessor, just say something good. Just say something good. Whatever it is. Maybe the way he supported the team. Maybe you could learn from him. Maybe you could give him a call and learn about the problem children that's on your team, or that problem child that's on your team. You can get some great feedback when you kind of set up meetings with the one that you just replaced. You can get some great feedback on people, on processes and systems that you are now in charge of. And so that's number one rule. Hey, no backstab. Those were the 7 mindset shifts for new leaders. And also, if you hit that card above, I have 7 more mindset shifts that will just turn your whole leadership game around. Now, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button. And listen, before you go, hit that video right there, because you don't want to miss what's on the next video. I'll see you there. I'm out of here. Peace.